That's statewide, and APS is approximately half of that.
No, about 30.
A little bit more, I think. But the point is this. You know, we have a very interesting situation here where we have spent literally hundreds, if not billions of dollars to build very good bricks and sticks. But it's not the bricks and sticks that teach the students. It's what's inside those bricks and sticks that teach the students. And I do believe that since we have a Noah's Ark strategy within APS, they have to have 2 or 3 of everything. Okay, that the way to control this situation, is to have them be mandated to show you the sources and uses of their funds. Rather than a broad, we spend $9,000 per student or $9,400 per student. How do you spend that $9,400 per student? And not only that, what are the results of that $9,400? Give me a verifiable and validatable proof that those monies are well spent. And if they are not, then we need to have options to make sure that children receive adequate education.
Okay, I'm going to hold it up for an instant. She has to leave, so I'm going to let her.
I do, and I appreciate your patience since I'm out of turn. So let us not forget that we still have an agency, an institution here that, as a bureaucracy, will naturally defend itself. And all bureaucracies do that. So we are asking some things to change that bureaucracy. One of the things that I think is important to remember is sometimes, even from the state level, we put those bureaucracies kind of in crosshairs. So I was certainly chastised by school board member Esquivel because I personally went down and asked to see an audit. It took me weeks to get to see this. And then they had a convenient fire drill, so we did that in the car. I don't know if you all remember this, but yes, we did this. And what I learned was that some of the regulations that they say have been imposed by the state has prevented them from actually hiring the qualified personnel in their audit department that would allow you to put the processes in place to actually extract this information easily. And so that was really frustrating to hear. And so, and this is what they told me was, we only have X amount of people. I think at the time they had 8 people in the audit department. But the majority of those individuals were being paid around between $11 and $13 an hour. Now, do you all have a CPA or even a bookkeeper who makes that? And so if that is so, are we focusing at all on the right issues, or is it so, is the bureaucracy so flawed that it has to implode for it to change? And I'm going to kind of pass that one back to Jim, because do you ever hear that discussion in the committees you sit on?
Well, I don't sit on education, so, you know,
I sit on finance.
But finance, yeah, but no, we don't hear, you know, that's what, below the level of what we hear of how the money is spent. So the money is spent based on the budget we get, and they divide it by number of students. That's how you get $9,000 per student, roughly. But to try and pin down and say, okay, 9,000, you know, 1,000 goes to the building, 1,000 goes to the books, and whatever else. That's detail of APS, or that's detail of the education department. And, no, we don't hear that discussion. And so what an auditor is paid at that level.
But I will tell you
it's their decision on how they want to spend that money. If they want to spend more on a teacher than an auditor, you know, that's the prerogative they've got, but they've got the obligation to do that responsibly. And I think that's what you're talking about here, is making sure that that's done responsibly. And before it arises, is that what the committees do? You know, the committee should be about improving the education for the students. If you're looking at a bunch of ancillary things, I think you're wasting your effort. But you want to get down to making the school system good, and it's not fair right now.
Well, I'm saying Jim just made my point. So 2 things. One is as we go to agencies and bureaucracies, we have to be cognizant of the fact that there is a cost to produce audits. As a business person, when I am required to produce audits, I'm telling you it takes resources. And so we need to be cognizant of that. But at the end of the day, the reason I believe the school board is so reticent to have any discussion is exactly what you said. They are not producing the results the citizens are asking for.
But you know too, that the legislative finance committee, the staff there, there's maybe 2 or 3 staff members that'll do an audit for legislative finance committee, and they do a pretty good audit, pretty good report. So the need for 8 or 10 auditors to look at just APS versus looking at the systems